I guess the first image that springs to mind when you hear the word debt is either a loan shark or a terrible bargain. What if I told you that there are different types of debt, good debt and bad debt? Depending on how you utilize them, these both provide distinct results. In this video, we'll discuss 5 different ways affluent people use debt to build wealth. But first, let's speak about the difference between good and bad debt. Welcome to Real Life Wisdom, where we discuss everything positive about money, including debt. Understanding what we mean by good debt and bad debt is crucial, beginning with good debt. You can amass assets of this kind that appreciate in value over time. Sometimes it may even include interest, which would mean receiving more money. When you receive revenue from something like loan interest, you can utilize it to pay off whatever debt you may have. Real estate, stock investments, and managed fund investments are a few instances of positive debt. The last one will be covered in more detail later. What exactly is bad debt then? This type, on the other hand, could purchase goods, services, or other assets that don't generate any income at all. These are kind of investments that people make because they offer no returns and no opportunity to pay off the debt. Credit card debt, individual auto loans, or even numerous family house loans are few examples. Student loans, however, rank among the most prevalent types of bad debt in the United States. However, the decision of whether or not it is bad debt is made by the individual. For instance, taking out school loans while lacking a clear career path and frequently changing majors could be regarded as bad debt. However, if a borrower uses these loans to pay for something, such as medical school, and persists in their studies, this debt can be viewed favorably. Sadly, a large portion of the underprivileged and middle class spend their entire lives striving to pay off terrible debt. The author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, offers some thoughts about debt. First of all, he considers a home to be a liability. However, this way of thinking sets the rich apart from the middle class and the impoverished. He is aware that the wealthy acquire assets. Only liabilities are given to the lower and middle classes who mistakenly believe that these are assets. He shows us that money is not an asset if it leaves our pockets. For Kiyosaki, that holds true for both homes and automobiles. I'm aware of your thoughts at this point. Why should you think about bad debt when it screams bad from every angle? You'd be shocked to learn how the wealthy actually profit from bad debt. Are used to achieve financial serenity. Some well-off individuals feel that all debt is bad. Is it true though? You may be aware that when we learn anything is harmful as children, it stays with us for the majority of our life. With debt, the situation is much the same. Many experts would advise you to concentrate on repaying all of your personal debt in order to avoid incurring additional debt in the future. It's a wonderful practice to adopt, but wealthy people can disagree. Popular radio broadcaster Dave Ramsey, who discusses all things monetary, has given individuals advice on how to manage debt effectively, avoid by wealthy people to accumulate debt. It depends on whether it's destructive or constructive. Consolidating debt is the first option. As a result, having several loans may end up costing you much more than it may benefit you. You might discover that paying interest and fees really costs more than using your money wisely. Therefore, you must locate additional means of payment while paying off your previous obligations gradually with greater interest debt. Because wealthy people typically have numerous enterprises and endeavors, they can pool all of their debt and gradually pay it off through each of these ventures. For instance, if you own a small business, you may have extra cash that you can use to settle other debts, such as credit card and personal loan obligations. However, your long-standing house loan agreement remains the same. Its reduced interest rate can be used to pay off debt that could have a higher interest rate. The second method uses buffer money. People naturally desire to keep money in cash savings accounts as emergency funds or a safety net. People, especially the wealthy, feel more secure as a result. The good news in this situation is that the banks handle most of the details for you. Through tax returns and by locking up the money, they assist you in making money. Even while it might not be the most practical, especially for those who live paycheck to paycheck, starting to save for whenever you can is a smart idea. For some assurance, emergency savings and buffers do require a little amount of debt, but you must guarantee your bank that you'll be repaying it anyway. Make sure it doesn't snowball, please. Real estate is, unsurprisingly, the third method. I am aware that not many individuals are able to engage in this kind of activity, but the wealthy can. Due to all of these wealthy individuals purchasing homes and other real estate and renting them out, the real estate industry is currently flourishing. The fact that you have 2 additional options for how to use the property after you own it is fantastic. For instance, you purchase a house in a desirable area with the borrowed funds. You get your home evaluated after making some alterations and improvements, and you discover that the value of your home has jumped 3-fold. You can now resell that residence for a higher profit. With the money you just made, you could purchase another property if you wanted to keep going. But I must caution you that there are many pitfalls with real estate. Anyone who has experience in the real estate industry is well aware of how challenging it is to acquire properties and how simple it is to lose money. If you don't exercise caution when making decisions, the real estate industry will just consume you. Make sure you are conducting in-depth research and searching for homes that are within your price range. The best way to increase your passive income is by taking on real estate debt. But you should also start considering asset diversification. Avoid putting all of your eggs in one basket at all times. The fourth method is to take out a loan or borrow money to invest. Borrowing money to invest in things like stocks or real estate can be a very effective technique for accumulating wealth over time. You can really purchase more investments thanks to it than is typically possible. Many millionaires and financial experts refer to this as gearing. Gearing can assist you in making more money than before if, for example, the value of your investments rises over time. It mostly relies on capital growth and income from various items that can genuinely assist in repaying the debt along with interest and fees. Because investment will always be important in terms of becoming wealthy, many millionaires engage in this. However, there is always a chance involved, just like with other wonderful things. When the value of your investment truly declines over time, that poses one of the biggest concerns. You're on the danger of being unable to make timely loan and debt payments. That implies that you might have to take some time out of work to organize your money. In the worst case situation, you can lose considerably more than what you initially contributed depending on how much you borrowed. I'd love to hear your opinion so far before we go to the final way the wealthy use debt to become wealthy. If you're not wealthy, do you think you could still do these? Comment below with your thoughts on these approaches and any recommendations you may have. We adore hearing from you guys. Oh, and don't forget to click like and subscribe before continuing with the video. I know we've spoken a lot about bad debt so far, but good debt might serve the same purpose for wealthy people as bad debt does. Better cash flow management is the fifth and final method the wealthy use debt to become rich. Debt is okay as long as the cash flow from the asset or product covers the debt and gives you extra income. Let's briefly examine the cash flow pattern of a wealthy individual I previously knew. They had an attractive diagram that showed their various assets and how much money they made on an average good day. The revenue generated by the assets always flows back to the individual who donated them. It's a good circle. But if you're serious about succeeding, you need to start managing the flow of your cash. Many regular individuals go out and take various jobs, building a cash flow system that pays for the costs these obligations cause. The money is instead paid to the government. These are known as taxes. This concept isn't particularly popular with some successful people. They are real entrepreneurs and not simply workers because of it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to learn any future money management or earning strategies. Cheers, and we'll see you in the next video.